After all, what kind of game was this? As long as you completed 13 challenges, you would receive a reward of 500 million US dollars. This game rule was very simple. There were only 3 rules. First, don't tell anyone about this game. Second, if you suddenly don't want to play anymore, you will lose all your winnings. Third, don't learn about the game origin. Because of the huge amount of the bounty, there were a lot of people who want it. Elliot was one of the lucky ones invited to participate in this game. The first challenge, just smack a fly. Elliot easily got 1,000 US dollars. The second challenge started to get harder. He had to eat this fly. This was a bit creepy, but for the money, he still ate it. Elliot tried to swallow it. So he had an extra $3,622. After that, the moderator told him, within 36 hours, if he completed the assigned task, he would get all the bonuses. Hearing that, Elliot immediately agreed to participate. The next day, Elliot's family had a picnic at the park. At this time, he got the next challenge. Within 5 minutes, he had to make a child cry. And he would get 10,000 US dollars. This challenge wasn't too difficult for him. After that, Elliot started pay attention to a little girl. He said, "Hey, your mom doesn't love you anymore. Your parents are thinking of ways to leave you." The girl immediately burst into tears and ran to find her mother. He went on to have another 50,000 US dollars. But because Elliot had already caused trouble, he couldn't stay here any longer. He pulled his fiancée named Shelby and hurriedly ran away. After that, they went to the church to repent. Suddenly, Elliot received a new challenge. This time, he had to burn the disabled children's crafts. Although this was very sinful, Elliot still did it. But unexpectedly, he accidentally burned down the whole church. At this moment, the fire alarm rang. Seeing that, Elliot hurriedly took Shelby away. Shelby was extremely angry by Elliot's strange actions. But because of the rules of the game, he had to keep it a secret. Elliot was very confused but didn't dare to say it. He quickly found an excuse to run away. Elliot went to the next challenge location. Before 4 p.m., he had to invite a single man out for coffee. It sounded so simple. But when just pushing the door in, he only saw a dead body. Elliot really panicked and immediately called the moderator to refuse the challenge. However, the reward of this challenge was 1 million US dollars. When he thought of his disabled brother named Michael at home, and his fiancée Shelby who was pregnant. Therefore, Elliot took a deodorant spray to spray all over the room. And he dressed up the corpse. After that, he took the corpse to a coffee shop. Elliot put the corpse on the chair, and put on a hat for it. It was almost 4 p.m. At this moment, there was a group of policemen entering the shop. They had priority to get their coffee first. Only 5 seconds left, Elliot couldn't think much more. He rushed over and took the coffee on the table where the policemen were sitting, in order to complete the challenge. After that, Elliot hurriedly left. But he couldn't take the dead body with him. This got the attention of the police. This time, Elliot was in big trouble. At this moment, he received the news that Michael's insurance package was about to expire. In order to maintain his brother's treatment, he needed to pay a large amount of money. Therefore, he had to definitely win this game. If Elliot passed this challenge, he would receive 5 million US dollars. After that, Elliot went to a cellar. There was a girl entering the room and taking off her coat. She revealed her sexy and attractive body. Maybe was this a reward? His phone rang again. His mission was to help that beautiful girl. To cut off an arm of the man with blonde hair. Hearing that, Elliot felt that this was crazy, but the moderator told him. This blonde guy volunteered to do so. He was also a participant. And that guy's mission was to cut off an arm. Really, Elliot couldn't do it. Therefore, this guy continuously mocked him. And even scolded him for being cowardly. This made Elliot extremely angry. He picked up the chainsaw and cut mercilessly. Elliot was very happy to continue to receive 5 million US dollars. He didn't have any guilt or fear anymore. After that, he booked an engagement party at a luxury restaurant. This made Shelby very happy. Everyone was excited to attend their engagement ceremony. But at this moment, Elliot's phone rang. His mission was to ruin this engagement party. In addition, he also had to deal with physiological need in this crowded place. However, this was too difficult. Because there was also his future wife's parents in this party. However, the previous incidents that Elliot caused. So the police started to notice him. Just passing this challenge, all his crimes would be cleared. And Elliot had no other choice. Therefore, he tried to smash everything. The party was also ruined by him. This made the guests extremely scared. After that, the police immediately rushed in. Seeing that, Elliot took the piece of glass close to his neck. He did that to threaten the police. Then he quickly ran out of the hotel. At this time, he continued to receive 7 million US dollars. He thought everything was fine. But unexpectedly, he got his next assignment to confess to the police. After that, he had to go back inside the hotel. The police quickly arrested him. The police had listed all the illegal acts that Elliot did in the past day, and then asked him, "Why do you do that?" However, Elliot couldn't answer, and he just wanted to call a lawyer. Seeing that, the police had to keep him there. Taking that opportunity, Elliot stole a gun and took a person hostage. Indeed, he was crazy. Although at this point, he already had $1 million. He still couldn't get out of the troubles of this game. He wanted to run away, but didn't know where to run. He just had to take the risk. He broke the window and jumped out. However, his phone was also dropped in the trash during the chaos. Elliot knew the person behind this game definitely had the power to control everything. On the way, he met a middle-aged woman. He realized that the next challenge was related to her. After that, she asked him to stretch the clothesline. He finished it with ease. He went on to get $1 million. It seemed the quest this time was a bit simple. But when looking back, he found this rope stretched in the middle of the road. And at this moment, a group of young racers were rushing towards. Elliot immediately shouted. However, the others didn't listen. He quickly pulled out the stake that tied the rope. Fortunately, he did it in time. After that, Elliot saw another player appear. That man stretched another clothesline across the street. Meanwhile, the youth group was coming back. Elliot quickly ran to stop. There was a steel rope stretched across the road, while there was a group of young men on motorcycles rushing over. "Stop!" he tried to scream loudly. But it was too late, they all died. Elliot was so scared, he didn't dare to look. At this moment, a phone in a backpack lying on the ground rang. Elliot took out his phone in trembling. The moderator called him to congratulate. Elliot had $10 million to his account. However, at this point, Elliot was no longer calm enough. He felt so desperate, he then threw the phone away. He didn't need the $500 million bonus anymore. Meanwhile, through investigation, the police discovered. It turned out this was a game manipulated by the rich people. They used money to enchant and entice players to complete challenges, in order that they had an extremely stimulating visual experience. And how to prevent this game? They could only wait for the game to end. Elliot remembered the previous player. He wanted to advise that person to give up. But that man didn't agree, and ran away in a hurry. Elliot hurriedly chased after his car, and he saw the car stopped in front of his house. At this moment, Elliot felt very nervous. When just entering the house, he saw that Michael had just returned. It turned out that Michael was that player. At this time, Elliot's father also took off his headphones. It turned out that he also used to participate in this secret game. Moreover, he was also the winner, and got a reward of $500 million. Everyone's final challenge was exactly the same. They had to kill their dearest person, and his father killed his mother. So when he was young, he didn't have a mother. Elliot was extremely angry. He pointed the gun at his father. But his father didn't wait for him to act. His father committed suicide. At this time, there were only Elliot and his brother. Elliot advised Michael to give up this game. However, Michael said he wanted to take that money to organize Elliot's wedding. It also sounded reasonable. After that, Michael started looking for guns in his pocket. In the danger, Elliot raised his gun and shot Michael. He hugged his younger brother in pain. He told Michael not to struggle anymore. But Michael refused to lie still. Finally, he died from excessive blood loss. At this time, the image of Elliot suddenly appeared on the phone screen. He became the champion of the game, and got $500 million. But Elliot didn't feel happy at all. He staggered out of the house. After that, the sheriff entered into Elliot's house, and he started destroying evidence. This was the promise he made to Elliot after the game ended. If Elliot won, all his wrongdoings would be wiped out. It turned out the sheriff was also an employee of this game. At this moment, Elliot returned home, seeing these rich people who only considered people's lives as trash. Finally, Elliot didn't compromise anymore. He raised his gun and directly shot the sheriff. The screen of the phone showed that his money had reached zero. Elliot didn't want any bonus either. He called and wanted to hear Shelby's voice. But there was also the corpse of a fly in front of Shelby at this time. If you get into a game like this, how many challenges will you pass?